In 1993, Capcom did the impossible. They turned a Disney tie-in movie into one of the greatest platformers on the Super Nintendo. This is Aladdin for the SNES, and it deserves to be remembered as just more than the other Aladdin game. While Virgin Games created their Genesis version with the flashy roboscoped animation, Capcom took a different approach for Nintendo's console. Released in November of 1993, this version completely flew under the radar of many gamers who assumed both versions were identical. Newsflash, they couldn't have been more wrong. Here's the thing, when two completely different games share the same name and release within months of each other, one inevitably gets overshadowed. The Genesis version got that marketing muscle and the magazine covers, but Capcom's team, led by Shinji Mikami, yes, that Shinji Mikami, who would later create Resident Evil, had something to prove. They weren't just making a movie cash grab, they were building a love letter to classic platforming. Let's talk about what made 1993 a battlefield for Disney platformers. You had the Genesis Aladdin with its sword combat and Prince of Persia style animation. It was beautiful to look at, but the gameplay? Divisive. Some people loved the spectacle, others found it stiff and unforgiving. Then Capcom stepped up with their Nintendo pedigree. This was the team behind Mega Man. Remember, they understood precision platforming in their DNA. Instead of rotoscoping, they went with vibrant, expressive sprite work that prioritized gameplay responsiveness over realistic movement. Capcom built elaborate vertical stages filled with secrets, multiple paths, and a collectible system that actually matters. Those red gems aren't just score. Collect all 10 in a stage and you're rewarded. The password system uses character portraits instead of boring alphanumeric codes. Even the Genie's break time minigame between levels adds risk-reward gambling that can save your run or cost you precious lives. And the bosses? They're completely original encounters, not like in the Genesis version. The fruit vendor, human Jafar with his lightning patterns, that massive snake transformation finale. Capcom created boss battles that felt like proper Super Nintendo showdowns, not interactive cutscenes. But here's why most people never experienced all of this. The game's been buried under decades of Genesis versus SNES arguments where the Genesis usually quote-unquote wins because of its animation. The emulation scene? Dominated by the Genesis version. YouTube playthroughs? Mostly Genesis. If you're discovering this game today, you're probably going in blind. The manual was bare bones. There's no in-game tutorial. You've got 70 red gems to find with zero guidance on which levels contain what. The password codes seem random, and Capcom's signature difficulty curve doesn't apologize for requiring skill. That's exactly why this walkthrough exists. We're going to find every single red gem, all 70, every golden scarab, every secret 1-up. I'll show you the optimal strategies for each boss, explain the movement tech that the game developers never told you about, and guide you through the trickiest platforming sections that have ended countless runs. Whether you're a nostalgic player returning after 30 years or discovering this gem for the first time, you're about to see why Capcom's Aladdin deserves the recognition as one of the SNES best platformers, not just for a licensed game, but period. Now, let's find that scarab and show the world what they've been missing. Alright, on to stage 1, level 1. There's 4 red gems here. Some key items are the sheet and the golden scarab. Welcome to the streets of Agrabah, where you'll learn the basics while hunting for your first batch of collectibles. Right away, you'll see jumping pots and enemies that bounce toward you. They teach you the core combat. Jump on them Mario style to take them out. Notice these pegs hanging from awnings? Here's a crucial mechanic the game never explains. The higher and faster you're swinging, the higher you'll launch when you let go. Swing up to the high platform and you'll grab your first red gem along with some apples from the green base. From here, hover straight down instead of going right. The golden scarab in the next treasure box is completely optional, but it triggers Genie's break time. The scarab flies around briefly and will escape if you're slow, so open the box and grab it quickly. Your third red gem is at the top of the tall structure. Climb all the way up, grab it, then hover down. For the fourth and final gem of this level, you need to position yourself where that last barrel throwing guard was, standing at the top of some barrels. Then jump and hover to the right. It's tucked away where you wouldn't think to look, but that chime sound will confirm when you've got it. Alright, heading on to stage 1, level 2. A gambling minigame where you can score extra lives, health, or credits. In stage 1 level 2, you'll find 2 red gems. Now level 2 is more vertical, with lots of guards patrolling platforms. The first red gem requires a specific technique. Wait for the barrel guard to throw his barrel, then jump on him, then take his position. From there, jump and hover to the right where the gem is hidden off screen. As you climb the slope, you'll uncover more barrel guards. Timing is everything. Wait for them to throw before advancing. There's a treasure box along the left path that usually contains turkey for a full health refill. Near the top, multiple arrow guards will test your reflexes. There's a 1-up on one of the ledges, so explore carefully. For the 6th and final gem of stage 1, you need to reach the topmost guard, eliminate him, take his position, and hover left. It's another hidden gem that rewards exploration. Alright, that wraps up level 2. On to stage 3. In stage 1, level 3, you'll get 4 red gems. Now we're on the rooftops, and this level design opens up vertically. Jump on that tan fabric. It'll spring you to the rooftops, where guards immediately greet you. Hover right from the small structure to grab the red gem number 7. Now here's a tricky 1-up that many players miss. Instead of going from the second rooftop, head right and hang from the edge. Press down and right simultaneously to grab a peg that's barely visible off screen. Swing to the 1-up, then back up to continue. Red gem number 8 is after the next guard. Hover to that high ledge. For gem number 9, you need to time your hover so you land on a swinging platform as it passes by. Aladdin will automatically grab it, so don't panic when the timing feels weird. The final red gem of stage 1 is devilish. From the lowest edge near the clothesline, jump off the edge and hover right immediately. Grab the gem, then float back to the rooftop before you fall. Slide down the clothesline and remember to press B to jump high enough to collect the gems at the bottom. Stage 1 is now complete. Now on to stage 1 level 4, boss battle, the fruit vendor. After a brief encounter with Princess Jasmine, the fruit vendor attacks. This is your first boss, and there's a rhythm to beating him efficiently. Opening up, you'll want to hit him with an apple to stun him. Now get close enough to bait his swing, but far enough to dodge. When he swings, his head is vulnerable. Just jump on it immediately. After hitting him, he flashes invulnerable. Wait for him to solidify, then repeat. Apple stun, bait his swing, and jump on the head. 4 cycles will defeat him. Now don't get too far away or he'll shuffle towards you without attacking. Once you've collected all 10 red gems from stage 1, watch Genie display your password for stage 2. That satisfying sound of completing the gem meter. You'll want to hear it for every stage. Alright, now on to stage 2 level 1. Stage 2 level 1 has 6 red gems, and the key items are the golden scarab. Abu's run off into the Cave of Wonders, and you're following through collapsing stalactites and dangerous cave creatures. Those hanging rocks will break off if you swing too long. They become platforms below, but timing is everything. Your first red gem is after a series of falling rocks. Swinging forward, then backtrack to collect it safely. Watch for the cave bats. They're mostly harmless, but their patterns can throw off your jumps. Red gem number 12 requires patience. Wait for a bat to position itself in the gap above you on those box moving platforms, then quickly jump through to grab it. The golden scarab here is in a treasure box. Open it, then hang from the ledge to the left without pulling up. The scarab will fly into you. For gem 13, you're bouncing across bats like stepping stones. Grab it at the top and don't worry about the gem you see below. You'll return for it shortly. Here is the trickiest gem in the cave. You need to swing from a stactolite with maximum momentum. Really get it going fast and high. At the bottom, watch for the skeleton. He'll suddenly sit up and swing swords. Wait for the opening, then jump on his head. Cross swords enemies will leap from gold piles, so hover over them and attack by jumping. Alright, now on to stage 2 level 2. You'll want to collect all 4 red gems here. While Abu rides the magic carpet, you're still trudging through the caves. The logs here float on currents, and you'll need to time the jumps carefully. Red gem 17 is on the first bat you encounter. Bounce off of it to reach the gem. For gem 18, use another bat as a springboard. The hanging rocks to your right move up into the holes periodically. Grab the rope and wait for the rock to retract before crossing. Gem number 19 requires perfect timing. As your log approaches the slope, jump up to grab it and the surrounding gems. There's a 1-up way at the top left of this section, so backtrack after grabbing it. The final red gem of stage 2 is hidden below. When you see that boulder trap after the jeweled statue, follow the boulder down instead of going up. Hover down to a hidden path with floating logs. Here's a tricky one for the completionists out there. How many red gems are in each level that give you a massive score boost? Let me know in the comments. Hit the bat with an apple, grab gem 20, and ride the logs to a treasure box containing a permanent heart upgrade. Then climb the stairs, avoiding boulders, grab the lamp at the top, and suddenly, Abu touches the forbidden treasure. It's time to run. Okay, let's start with a legendary name. Which famous game designer, who later created Resident Evil, was behind the SNES version of Aladdin? Drop your answer below. Now on to stage 3, level 1. You'll find 10 red gems, and the key items are the golden scarab. The Caves of Wonders is collapsing, and this auto-scrolling lava escape is intense. You must collect all 10 red gems here because the next level is pure escape with no collectibles. The screen moves as you do. Go too far back and you'll lose a life. Fall in the lava twice while flashing and you'll lose a life. Now fireballs shoot from gaps in the pathway. Let them pass before crossing. Those shaking platforms, they're geysers that launch you upward. Use them to reach high gems. Red gem 21 is near the top after the first geyser. For gem 22, skid to the edge of the pillar and hang there. Aladdin's body will scoop it up. Gem 23 is on a rising and falling pillar. 24 is after swinging across stalactites. The golden scarab here is in a treasure box. Jump onto the open box lid and wait for the scarab to fly overhead. Gem 25 requires crouching as fireballs pass, then grabbing the edge of the platform. 26 is a little trickier. Jump on the triangular formation as it's clear of fireballs, then vault left immediately or take damage from a fireball to fly straight at it. It's risky but faster. Now 27 is straight down after a geyser. You must hit the triangle and miss it, so be prepared to drop into lava if needed. Then grab the formation quickly. Use geysers to reach gems 28 and 29. For 30, wait for the moving pillar to align with the gem. Hop on, grab it, then jump to the final pillar and hover to the exit. Alright, now on to stage 3, level 2. Okay, this is a console wars question. Back in November of 1993, 2 different Aladdin games dropped on different systems. What was the other console besides the SNES that got its own version in the same month? This is pure reflexes. You're on the magic carpet escaping a lava wave. Don't touch the cave walls or you'll crash and burn. Boulders occasionally fall, so stay alert. The cave path has tight sections, wide sections, and sudden turns. I've mapped it out visually in the guide, but honestly, focus on the screen, react to what's coming, and don't overcorrect. The lava wave is more forgiving than it looks. You have a small buffer zone, just keep moving forward. Avoid walls and falling rocks, and you'll make it. There's no collectibles here, it's just pure survival. Alright, now on to stage 4, level 1. Stage 4 level 1 has 3 red gems for you to collect. Welcome inside the lamp, where Genie's magic creates surreal platforming challenges. Everything here is Genie themed. You've got floating pots, Genie face platforms, and reality bending layouts. The first 2 red gems, 31 and 32, are easy to spot early on. Jump on floating pots to grab them and bounce back to safety. This level is straightforward until you reach Genie's arm. Now Genie himself appears and creates your path forward based on how many lives you have. The more lives means more elaborate paths with balloons and cards. If you've been collecting those 1-ups, you'll get the full treatment. For red gem 33, swing on the first peg after Genie's path, then swing to the next peg and launch straight up. The gem is above you, slightly hidden. Grab it and continue to the walkway to the finish. Alright, now on to stage 4, level 2. Stage 4 level 2 will give you 4 red gems, and the key item is the golden scarab. More balloon swinging and genie platforms. Don't stay on balloons too long. The spikes at the top will pop them. Red gem 34 is on the downward slope along with other gems. The golden scarab is in a treasure box. Below a peg. Open it, then stay on the peg until the scarab touches you. Small tornadoes patrol this section, so time your movements. Gem number 35 is after the tornadoes. For 36, either wait for a floating pot to align with the gem and bounce off of it, or bounce off of an enemy and hover down. The final gem, 37, requires jumping on a floating pot as it hovers under the gem, then hovering to the walkway. Alright, now on to stage 4, level 3. That's one reason why I enjoy these classic video game playthroughs. They remind you just how much design went into even the simplest moments. In stage 4 level 3, you'll want to collect the 3 red gems. Now this level is bizarre even by genie standards. You start on the genie tongues that move in patterns. Jump from tongue to tongue, timing your movements carefully. There are no red gems for a while, so focus on climbing. Eventually you'll reach genie-shaped springs. Bounce to the top. This part really shows why I love doing SNES playthroughs with commentary. There's so many small details you miss, unless you're playing it again years later. Alright, a health system trivia. How many hearts does Aladdin start with in his health meter at the beginning of the game? Then when you hit a section with genie boxes that fall moments after you land on them, this is where the gems are. Red gem 38 is visible on the falling boxes. Grab it quickly and hover to the next box. After an intermission of balloons and boxes, you'll reach a tanned platform. Stop here. Now wait for a floating pot to align with the box above it. Hop on the pot, jump on the box, and grab gem number 39. The final gem of stage 4 is floating in the mid-air at the end. Step onto the last box, immediately hover right to the gem, then hover back to the exit. Stage 4 is now complete. It's time to search for Abu in the desert. In stage 5 level 1, the red gems are 5, and the key items are the golden scarab, desert ruins with snakehead platforms and sand hazards. Climb the snakeheads and look for a hole up left containing bread. Red gem 41 is in another hole to the upper right. Now sandbats pop up from the ground. Jump on them or avoid them entirely. An arrow guard in purple shoots 2 arrows. He's more dangerous than the earlier guards. Gems 43 and 44 are along the top path. There's a turkey in a treasure box up here. Heal if needed. Drop down to attack an arrow guard that doesn't interfere with the next gem. Alright, now on to stage 5 level 2. You'll want to collect 4 red gems in stage 5 level 2. Jump on the first jumping pot to reach the red gem 46, swinging past the sharpening spinning objects carefully. Just wait for them to separate. There's a treasure box with a heart upgrade past the narrow guard. You should be nearing your full 10 heart capacity by now. For gem 47, jump straight back up after grabbing it. The platform will then collapse. Wait for a sandbat to pass as you climb sandy stairs. At the last step, face left and swing onto the peg to find a treasure box with a 1-up, one of the last ones in the game. You'll want to cross moving snakeheads carefully over a snake pit. Gem 48 is visible. Wait for a snakehead to move under it. For gem 49, wait at the platform with vertical green gems until the snakeheads are at the lower part of their cycle. This makes grabbing the gem much easier. Alright, enough fun. Onto stage 5 level 3. There's 1 red gem in stage 5 level 3. The final desert level is mostly straightforward until the end. Swing across chains when they're high enough to avoid spikes. Arrow guards are everywhere. Take them out before they become problems on your swings. When you see 2 chains very close together with 2 green gems visible, you're near a new enemy. The sword swinger tosses spinning swords at you. Jump on him quickly to eliminate the threat. The red gem number 50, the last desert gem, is hidden beneath the pillar right behind him. Turn up your volume to hear that chime or watch for sparkles around Aladdin. It's easy to miss, even when you know it's there. Now continue right to a dramatic setup where a sphinx head materializes and leaps down. Is it a boss fight? Nope, it's Abu playing tricks. Now onto the bonus level. There's 10 red gems here. If you've entered the bonus password, you're on a magic carpet ride collecting gems. This is tricky because you need a steady hand. One wrong move overshoots and undershoots gems. The gems are spread across the entire flight path in specific positions. Honestly, this is easier shown than described. If you don't want to perfect it, just enjoy the music and grab whatever gems you can. You can get 60 total points here, but it's optional content. Just keep the carpet steady and react to gem positions as they appear. With that out of the way, we're on to stage 6, level 1. Alright, designer's honest opinion time. Shinji Mikami admitted he thought the Genesis version was better at animation, and what specific feature that made him say he'd probably buy it if he hadn't made the SNES version himself. Comment your answer. A modern re-release knowledge question. In 2021, the SNES Aladdin was bundled with The Lion King, The Jungle Book, and what other version of Aladdin for modern consoles? Alright, a magazine review question. What score out of 5 did Swedish magazine Dater Magazine give the game? And yes, it was a perfect score. Okay, here's one for the music lovers. The Magic Carpet bonus stage with Jasmine ends with a specific Disney song when the melody finishes. Which iconic song is it? Now stage 6 level 1 has 5 red gems for you to collect, and the key item here is the golden scarab. Jafar's palace is crawling with guards. Sword swingers are everywhere. Jump on his first sword set to grab red gem 61, then jump on him directly. Now watch for flying pots that chase you. For gem 62, jump on a flying pot and hover over it, peeking from a pillar. Stamp on the large guard and cross moving platforms. Now swing along pegs past snakeheads that pop in and out of walls. There's a 1-up on the ledge. Grab it when that spiked ball rises. Then finish up the level up the stairs. Alright, now on to stage 6, level 2. Here you're gonna find 3 red gems with a golden scarab. Move forward slightly and stop before going downstairs. As soon as you see Lago, move back immediately. He's the key to gem 66. Destroy the guards and more Lagos containing skulls. The skulls bounce randomly when dropped. Just don't touch them. At the wide open area, jump on both sets of the sword swinger's attacks, then hover. When he throws diagonally, keep hovering higher to reach gem 67. Now move downstairs and run up to the arrow guards, crouching to avoid arrows, then swing on lanterns above them. The final golden scarab is in a treasure box ahead. Just grab it after jumping on the sword swinger. Okay, we're almost at the final boss. Almost at Jafar. Alright, now we're in stage 6, level 3, and there's 2 red gems for you to collect. The approach to Jafar. Stun the arrow guard with an apple. Jump on him. Watch for Lago, swinging along pegs, destroying enemies until a high wall blocks you. A huge fire column rages up and down. Now wait for it to reach the bottom. Rush forward and grab gem number 69. Then leap onto moving platforms and up the walkway. A treasure box across from another guard contains the final 1-up in the game. Swing past more pegs and platforms. Jump on green vases when your fire is low. Watch for crossed swords in low ceiling areas. You'll reach a lever that alters the platform track. Pull it to move the platform to a safer, higher track. Now jump on it safely and grab the turkey from the green vase ahead. Another lever section. Pull the left one to avoid fire. At the top of a very high wall, stop. Red gem 70. The final gem in the game is nearby. As your feet leave the wall's top, hover all the way over to the gem near the top of the screen. If you jump too soon, you'll hover under it and miss it completely. Now open the treasure box for healing and collect the last green gems. Jafar awaits. Boss battle, Jafar in human form. He'll need 6 hits to be taken out, and Jafar has 2 opening attacks, and understanding them is crucial. There's 2 options here. Option A, the jumping pots. You'll want to wait for the first pot on the left to float above your head, then jump on it and vault right toward Jafar as he approaches. Option B, with the scepter. Jafar moves to the center and throws his scepter down. Jump Jump on it as he swoops to the other side. After hitting him once, he sends 3 lightning bolts to 3 areas. The left side, where you stand for jumping pots, the center side, where you stand for the scepter, or the right side, where you wait for his swoop. For the right side swoop, wait until he's just before center to jump or you'll collide with him. Only one stage remains. Boss battle, stage 7, Jafar in snake form. This is the final confrontation. Open the treasure box for the turkey and move into the throne room. Jafar vanishes, the room shakes, and suddenly you're standing on a giant snake. For this snake boss, you'll want to stand far left if Jafar moves toward you at the start. Watch for him to throw his head back. Small spheres appear. Jump on the spheres to reach Jafar's head, or avoid them to prevent damage. After the first hit, his body moves up and down drastically. Hover when his body goes under fire. Jump on his head when his body reaches the top. He'll duck and lunge at you. Hit him during the lunge. His body moves again. Take advantage and hit him. He calms down and shoots 2 more spheres. Just repeat the pattern. 8 hits total defeats the sorcerer. Okay, here's a fun one about the bonus stages. What collectible item do you find in treasure chests that fly away and unlocks the genie's bonus wheel? Alright, let's talk rankings. Where did IGN place Aladdin on their list of the top 100 SNES games of all time list? Take a guess in the comments. Alright, this one's about Capcom's SNES legacy. Aladdin became Capcom's highest selling SNES game after which legendary fighting game franchise? Okay, UK Gaming's History Time. In what month and what year was Aladdin the top selling SNES game in the UK? Can you remember? Okay, can you guess the weapon differences? In the Genesis version, Aladdin uses a scimitar, but what does he throw at enemies? In the Capcom SNES version instead. Alright, Jafar is defeated. The genie is freed. Aladdin gets the girl, and enjoy the ending. The ending cutscene will vary depending on how many red gems you've contained. If you contain 0 to 50 red gems, it's a magic carpet ride ending. Aladdin and Jasmine fly across the sky. If you were lucky enough to collect 51 through 70 red gems, it's the stage replay ending. It's a montage of Aladdin collecting items and beating enemies across all the stages. And that's it for Aladdin on the Super Nintendo. All 70 red gems, all golden scarabs, every secret, every boss battle conquered. This game proves that Capcom understood the platforming excellence, and it deserves recognition alongside their Mega Man and Disney's Magical Quest series. If you've collected all 70 red gems, you've experienced the full depth of this level's game design. If you missed some, don't worry, now you'll know exactly where they are for your next turn. Next time, we'll be diving into another forgotten gem that deserves your attention. These games didn't get the recognition they earned back in the day, but together, we can change that. If this walkthrough's helped you, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into gaming's hidden treasures. Drop a comment telling me which underappreciated classic you want to see next. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the games that get overshadowed are the ones worth discovering most. I'll see you in the next one. Alright, get this. While you were arguing with your friends about whether the SNES or Genesis was better, Disney dropped the ultimate test. 2 completely different Aladdin games released in the same month. But this wasn't a port. This was Capcom and Virgin Games going head to head, each crafting their own version of Agrabah. Back in the day, you picked your version based on which console you owned, but you always wondered what you were missing on the other side. The Genesis kids got their sword swinging action, but us SNES players, we got something special from a designer who would go on to change gaming forever. Here's something that will blow your mind. Disney's Aladdin on the SNES was designed by Shinji Mikami. Yeah, that Shinji Mikami, the mastermind who would later create Resident Evil and redefine survival horror. Okay, this was early in his career though, and you can see that attention to detail and game feel that would become his signature. And Mikami was honest about the competition too. He straight up said if he hadn't made the SNES version, he'd probably buy the Genesis game because of that sword and animation. That's the kind of humility you don't see much of anymore. A developer tipping his hat to the rival version. The team at Capcom brought their A game with big name composers and music makers. These weren't just names in the credits, they were the craftsmen building something that would sell 1.8 million copies and become Capcom's second highest SNES game ever, right behind the likes of Street Fighter 2. Can you believe we used to have games where collecting all hidden gems actually mattered? 10 red gems per stage, and finding them would substantially increase your score. Remember when high scores were something you write down, call your friends about, and leave the console on overnight just to show your parents in the morning? Those treasure chest scarabs that flew around for just a few seconds, the panic, the precision jumping, the satisfaction when you snagged one and got to spin Genie's bonus wheel. That was pure dopamine before we knew what dopamine was. And the magic carpet stages, that escape from the Cave of Wonders, dodging lava waves while the screen auto-scrolled. Your palms were sweating, probably sitting way too close to the TV. Then, later, that free-flying bonus stage with Princess Jasmine, collecting gems while a whole new world played. The stage literally ended when the song ended. They timed the gameplay perfectly to the melody. That's the kind of creative design that almost feels quaint now, but back then, that was magic. We had no sword like in the Genesis version, but you had apples, strategic apple throwing. You weren't a warrior prince, you were a street rat who had to be clever, jump on enemies, disorient them with fruit, survive with just 3 hearts of health. This was precision platforming before we called it that. Here's where the story takes a turn. That SNES classic you loved, they ported it to a Game Boy Advance in 2003 and 2004, and it was rough. IGN had placed the original SNES version 60th on their top 100 SNES games of all time, praising how it faithfully translates the film's over-the-top magic into 16-bit form. Complex would later rank it 42nd in the best Super Nintendo games of all time in 2018. Even back in 1995, Total Magazine ranked it 47th in the top 100 SNES games list. But that GBA port, the Metacritic score dropped to 59 out of 100. Game rankings showed 65% compared to the original 78. Avi Fryman from GameSpy called it the most monumentally disappointing of all the SNES to GBA ports. It's a reminder that not everything ages gracefully, and sometimes leave the memories intact. The good news? In 2021, they did it right. The Disney Classic Games Collection, featuring Aladdin, The Lion King, and The Jungle Book, brought back the original SNES version, not the GBA port, alongside The Lion King, The Jungle Book, and yes, even that Genesis Aladdin you always wondered about. Now you can finally experience both versions, compare them yourself, and settle that 1993 argument once and for all on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. The same game Shinji Mikami designed before he became a legend. The same game that topped UK sales charts. The same apple throwing, carpet riding, gem throwing adventure. Those were the times when 2 studios could take the same movie and create 2 completely different masterpieces. When magazine scores meant everything. When you'd gather around the TV after school just to watch someone else play. Disney's Aladdin on the SNES wasn't just a licensed game that didn't suck. It was proof that with the right team, the right vision, and a whole lot of heart, you could turn animation into interactive magic.